Greetings in Christ. My name is Andrew Smith, and I'm the treasurer of the Orthodox Church in America. The OCA, as plan sponsor of the OCA Pension Plan, has been engaged in a thoughtful, methodical review of the plan over the last year and a half. In late 2020, His Beatitude Metropolitan Council asked me as OCA treasurer to help him understand the plan in light of certain questions and concerns that had arisen throughout the church. Since then, the process has included input from an ad hoc committee, the OCA Pension Board, the officers of the OCA, the Holy Synod, and the Metropolitan Council. In fall 2021, the Metropolitan Council engaged an actuarial firm, Chiron Incorporated, to formally review the plan. And on June 27, 2022, the Metropolitan Council received and accepted this report. This report demonstrates that the plan is significantly underfunded and has been in recent years on a path of decline. Chiron further identifies the need for better, more realistic, and more regular reporting to plan stakeholders regarding the state of the plan. However, the report also shows that there are paths forward for the plan that would improve its ability to ensure the financial health of current and future retirees. At the upcoming All-American Council in Baltimore, there will be consideration of an amendment to the OCA statute as it pertains to the pension plan. The pension subcommittee of the Metropolitan Council proposed this amendment, which seeks to, 1, codify basic expectations of the pension plan's reporting to the Metropolitan Council and in turn to other constituents. 2, enhance oversight of the plan's financial statements through the OCA Internal Audit Committee. And 3, change the composition of the pension board to emphasize representation and subject matter expertise. Since the release of this proposed amendment and the Chiron report, there have been a number of questions. I hope to address some of these questions today in a frequently asked questions FAQ format. First, why did the OCA undertake a review of the OCA pension plan? For some time now, but particularly in the wake of problems with other defined benefit plans, there has been discussion about the plan. The footnotes to recent OCA financial statements include discussion of the plan and remark that it has in recent years had a funding ratio below 50%. As a matter of due diligence and in response to concerns, the OCA, as plan sponsor, undertook a review of the plan in early 2021. The purpose was to determine the vitality of the plan and to ensure that it has resources needed to provide promised benefits in perpetuity. 2, how was this review conducted? Initially, an ad hoc committee chaired by the OCA treasurer, myself, worked for several months to report on the plan to His Beatitude Metropolitan Council. Their findings were reported to His Beatitude, then subsequently to the Holy Synod and the Metropolitan Council. Having received the information from this initial report, the Metropolitan Council likewise appointed a subcommittee to further review the plan. The subcommittee likewise reported to the Metropolitan Council, which then engaged a third-party actuarial firm, Chiron Incorporated, to refine its understanding with an eye to potential paths forward. 3, what were the findings of the reviews? The ad hoc committee, the pension subcommittee of the Metropolitan Council, and Chiron all found that the plan was underfunded and had been in recent years on a path of decline. Each emphasized the importance of better, more realistic, and more regular reporting to plan stakeholders. 4, is the plan in danger? Under current conditions and in time, yes. The plan is funded less than 50%, and projections show that when making reasonable actuarial assumptions, it will not return to adequate funding under current plan provisions. There are, however, clear paths forward to restore plan health. 5, why make changes to the OCA statute regarding the plan? The plan is quite underfunded, and this will only get worse as time goes by. This can be corrected now, but attention and immediate action by plan members and by the OCA as plan sponsor is required. If action is postponed, the problems will likely worsen, and a time will come when it will not be possible to restore the plan. 6, what is the purpose of the proposed amendment? First, the amendment ensures that complete and pertinent information, including information about plan risks and the future stability of the plan, is available to Pension Board, Metropolitan Council, and other plan constituents. Secondly, the amendment would foster an environment of greater collaboration, enhanced review of plan performance, and consistent subject matter expertise among decision makers. The pension board would be restructured such that plan participants would elect 3 of their own number as board members. 3 additional board members who are not plan members, but who have specific subject matter expertise would be nominated by the Metropolitan, vetted by the Metropolitan Council, and confirmed by the Holy Synod. Those 6 would name a 7th as their chair. 7. Doesn't the Metropolitan Council already receive information from the pension board about the plan? In the past, reports to the Metropolitan Council have included information about investment performance and plan membership, but not specific information about the actuarially determined liability, funding ratio, historical trends, and future projections. The delineation of minimum expected information to be provided twice a year will enable the Metropolitan Council and the plan participants to better understand the state of the plan. 8. If the proposed amendment passes, does it permit pension plan funds to be taken by the OCA? No. The OCA and the OCA Pension Plan are separate legal entities, and each is subject to an external audit in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the U.S. Further, plan assets are held in trust. Any change to the trust would require that the pension board propose an amendment to the trust, the Metropolitan Council accept that amendment to the trust, and that the Holy Synod would have to confirm that action. The proposed amendment does not change any of those requirements, nor does it remove the fiduciary duty that the pension board members have to the plan beneficiaries. Rather, the amendment encourages greater involvement on the part of plan members and the plan sponsor. 9. Why is a change in the pension board proposed? Currently, the statute calls for 6 members to be elected at the All-American Council and another, a bishop, appointed by the Holy Synod. There is no explicit requirement that the members be participants in the plan, nor that they have any particular expertise regarding pension plans. The proposed amendment to the OCA statute provides that 3 members are elected by plan participants who must be participants themselves. It further provides for the nomination by the Metropolitan of 3 non-participants as members, who would be vetted by the Metropolitan Council and confirmed by the Holy Synod. This one would enable the election of individuals who have a personal stake in the plan and the appointment of other individuals who have specialized knowledge regarding pension plans. The 6 members would select a 7th to act as their chair. 10. Is the proposed amendment an attempt by the administration to take control of the pension plan? No. The independence of the plan is clearly delineated in the statute. The proposed amendment, however, will foster greater collaboration between the pension board and the plan sponsor at a time when such collaboration is greatly needed. 11. Is the OCA at risk if the plan cannot provide the promised benefits? First and foremost, the OCA has a moral obligation to plan participants. Secondly, however, the OCA is likely legally liable for the payment of benefits, and the plan is not covered by government protection programs for other retirement plans. 12. Why are there 2 different measures describing the health of the plan? The plan's actuary uses a speculative measure to project that the plan's funded status is 76%, but also notes in its reporting that by using another measure, the current funding ratio is under 50%. This second measure is the one generally accepted by actuaries and used in external financial reporting, that is to say, in audited financial statements. The former measure projects future funding based on assumptions, primarily that the plan assets will grow at a rate of 7% and that administrative expenses are 1.5% of covered payroll. However, the plan has averaged 4.75% over a recent 10-year period, and the administrative expenses have consistently exceeded 2% of covered payroll. The assumptions aren't currently supportable. Also, since the prospective funded status looks to future funding, it should always be close to 100%. The OCA as plan sponsor must consider the lower measure as the truer indication of current plan health. 13. Isn't the plan adequately funded on an annual cash flow basis at this time? No, the current contributions do not equal the amounts paid to retirees. This means that unless the plan assets earn over 6% in a given year, the plan must use already invested assets to cover payouts and plan expenses. 14. What caused the current underfunded situation? The plan, as originally designed, did not base benefits upon the length of service in the plan. This meant that some retirees received benefits far in excess of the contributions made by them and on their behalf. This was corrected in 2010 with a change to the structure of the plan, but it still created a drag on the plan that we currently live with. Investment performance has also lagged benchmarks and the actuarially assumed rate of return. In particular, the plan participated in an investment strategy after the 2008 financial crisis, which cost the plan over $3.2 million. The failure of the actuary to recognize the problems and provide full, accurate reports to the pension board and the Metropolitan Council likely contributed to this problem. 15. Did the failure to honor mandatory participation contribute to the current underfunded situation? Partially. Mandatory participation after 2010 helps the plan greatly because the member's benefit is now tied to years of service. Prior to 2010, however, each individual's effect on the plan's funding status, whether positive or negative, depended largely on his years of service, so one would have to ask this question on a case-by-case basis for each eligible but non-participating clergyman. The failure to have full participation of those eligible to participate in the plan now, after 2010, does negatively impact the funding of the plan, but the impact is not as great as the factors discussed previously. 16. Can the pension plan be restored? Unequivocally, yes. There are several possible paths forward based on more realistic assumptions, which will lead to improvements in plan funding and to the plan's ability to provide financial security to retirees over the long term. 17. Should the plan be closed down or converted into something else? None of the parties reviewing the plan, the original ad hoc committee, the pension subcommittee of the Metropolitan Council, nor Chiron have proposed anything like this. Current plan participants are all entitled to receive benefits in the form of an annuity in retirement. This has been promised to them. The OCA is liable for the payment of the benefits, and the continuation of the plan is a moral responsibility. There is always the possibility of creating a new class of participants for new plan entrants in the future with adequate funding of the obligations to existing members, similar to the 2010 restructuring. But this is a matter that is beyond the scope of the current review. Such proposals would be under the purview of the pension board, subject to Metropolitan Council approval. The OCA must now begin a process of facing this reality honestly and forthrightly, with a spirit of calmness, charity, and discernment. A significant part of that process will consist in deliberation by delegates to the All-American Council in a few weeks. As you review these materials, the proposed statute amendment, the Chiron report, and the frequently asked questions in preparation for the Council, I invite you to reach out to me or to your Metropolitan Council representative. I thank you for your time today.